hook or a drop out of vocal chops using a sampler and Melodyne. You're gonna at least need Melodyne for this. You can use auto-tune. I don't know how your mileage may vary with that. We'll give it a try, and we're gonna walk through step by step. So here's what I created. The drop is kind of just a little something I put together in a few minutes. The star of the show is obviously the vocal chops. So check it out. Cool, so I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, you're probably gonna close this video and be like, fuck this guy. But no, if you're sticking around, thank you. We're gonna check this out now. I think they sound dope. So I started with this really shitty vocal out of one of these vocal, shitty Vengeance kind of. These vocals are always kind of rough, to be honest with you.
Turn the lights off tonight.
So it's something like that. I'll play the exact same one. You can see it right here.
Turn the lights off tonight.
Oh, that's with Melodyne on, sorry.
Turn the lights off tonight and let my eyes shine bright.
So you get the idea. So it sounds nothing like it. And one of the things I want to tell you about this concept is you can use any vocal. So if you go on like Splice Samples, you can just grab a bunch of vocal phrases. You just want like an upfront, usually a female vocal, and something that, it doesn't even have to be in the key, it's just about the delivery and like hearing a delivery that it's kind of upfront and powerful. These vocal chops are awesome. This is a good technique if you've recorded a song with like a sleepier singer or something that's more laid back and kind of the indie sound that's really chill. And like in right now, that you see blowing up everywhere with all the future chill sounds and all that kind of stuff, but you still need that, you know, you want to put some balls in your drop, you know, you'd want an upfront vocal. So we use this, and it's about the tonality. The lyrics are pretty terrible, to be honest, and we're going to bring it into Melodyne. So I'm going to show you what I had done in Melodyne, and you're going to see, I'm pretty sure, let's bring it into Melodyne on a new track. And what I used was I hard tuned it like really aggressively, and I'll show you how I did that.
Turn the lights off tonight and let my eyes shine bright. Turn the light.
Okay, we're just going to do a piece of the vocal because I'm not going to go through everything. Expand this window so you get the tuning windows up here. If you have it too small, you won't be able to see those two windows. Again, I'm going to treat you like you kind of know what you're doing in Melodyne. And we're going to tune these vocals, center them. We're going to snap it to G minor because my drop happens to be in G minor. And then what we're going to do from here is we're going to get kind of creative. One thing is the pitch modulation. You can see it's still very natural. So you can grab the pitch tool and switch it to pitch modulation. I'm going to go in here. We're going to pull all the notes down. And this is going to remove a lot of the modulation and human aspect of the voice. And it's going to give it a very hard tuned feel, kind of like the T-Pain effect. So let's check it out.
Turn the lights on.
And without.
Turn the lights on. Turn the lights on.
So you can really hear it in the first couple phrases there, how it kind of hard tunes it. If you choose a vocal chop that isn't in key, that's cool, and it's probably even a good thing because you can pitch it a little. You want to make sure you set your scale. So if it's in C minor, your song's in C minor, click C minor, which is actually what our song is in. So we're going to do that. Now that I think about it, put the chords and that drop together in like 2 seconds, and we're going to pitch this up a fifth. So cool. And let's do snap to C minor. Make sure everything's in key.
Turn the lights off tonight.
Cool. So something like that. Pitch your song in key. And then last but not least, we're going to use the note separate tool, and we're going to try to create some really cool bends and shakes. And I don't know exactly if I'm going to be able to recreate exactly what I made a few minutes ago, but I'm just going to give you the mentality how I did it. Again, you got to make sure these things stay in key, and they're really hard tunes. So snap to C minor, make sure everything's in key. So let's see what that did.
Turn the lights off tonight.
That's cool, and you can even pitch it down. It sounds kind of aggressive, so let's bring it down.
Turn the lights off tonight.
And you can even cut it a little closer if you'd like, or you can do another cut. Try to keep them a little on time. Don't go crazy.
Turn the lights off.
So that's cool. Now we're thinking it when we're doing this. We're thinking in phrase and concept of, hey, what's gonna sound dope when you know, we chop it up into little slices. It's going to sound way cooler to have something that's kind of pitched up, like a quick glide like that, than it is going to be a flat note. You're going to need some flat notes, but you're going to also want those cool little humanized sounds that we can't, you know, that makes these vocal chops special that you can't really get always out of just playing MIDI keyboards and all that. So here's my vocal chop after I do all the tuning. I think I bounced it here.
Till the lights off tonight, and let my shine brighter.
So as you can see, they sound really auto-tuned, and that's kind of what we're looking for. We don't want it to sound human. So then the next step would be to open up a MIDI track and pull on your Ableton sampler. If you're not using Ableton, you're going to probably want a sampler that can slice into bits. That Serato sample I picked the other day is a decent fit, but the Ableton one's the real winner. So once you do that, bring it in, drag your vocal in, press slice, and start going through your keyboard. You'll find you have a lot of cool slices. You can also go in and move the slices individually. So what I did then is I created a MIDI clip. I went in here and Apple Shift M, MIDI clip, and I've turned this on right here, the little blue headphone jack. Start at the bottom, not like Drake, but. And everything that I thought sounded cool, I marked with a note. So on and so forth. So I came up with these. And before you yell at me and say, whoa, well, how does it sound so much different? There's just a little bit of reverb and distortion on it. We'll talk about that in a second. So I grabbed all the notes I thought sounded cool, highlighted them all, brought them back one, like that, pressed the fold button, and that gave me those options in the clip. So I'm only sticking with the clips I like. That way you don't get all those little like kind of sounds, and you eliminate, you're down to just the good stuff. So let's do a duplicate, and let's delete my pattern. And now I created a pattern. So this is kind of like programming a little blindly. It's going to take you 5-10 minutes maybe to come up with something really cool, and you can play them on your keyboard too if you want. But one thing I like about doing the folded notes is that you can just draw them in. So we'll come up with a little rhythm. Yeah, gotta shut this girl off. Let's do something a little different. So something like something like that, and then you can move the notes around. See, something like that, and then we can copy and paste that again. I duplicate Apple D for that. And maybe change a little. And there you go, you kind of get the idea now. So I kind of created the bass rhythm with one note, and then I started moving it around and trying to create those variations. And if there's something I didn't like, I would remove it, and then for the fill at the end, we'd get kind of crazy. Let's try to get weird for a second. That one's not. I want that one to work, but it's not gonna. But you get the idea. As you can see, you can burn through about 10-15 minutes playing with this. And I came up with this pattern before, and I just came up with a new one. I thought it sounds pretty good. And then beneath it, there's these chords that I did in Serum and Nexus. If you didn't see my future bass kind of chord tutorial, it's like 2 or 3 weeks back, but you'll be able to check it out and find it pretty easily. You can check out my channel. And then I put together this little drum beat. And that's pretty straightforward. So all together, here's the vocal chop. And oh, and before we quit, let me show you the processing. It's just a quick filter. OTT to bring it out and to kind of bring out, you know, some presence, and then just the saturated medium curve switched on, which provides a little distortion. I didn't even turn the drive on. And then last but not least, the Valhalla reverb on the default setting just turned up to 20%, and the decay turned up a touch. So nothing complicated at all. Really, it's just reverb and distortion, I guess is the way to put it. So altogether, it created this. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Again, this is a concept, it's a mentality, how to do vocal chops. This is the idea of how to get something, you know, kind of out of nothing, really. I mean, we took a kind of a whack vocal and we turned it into something kind of dope. And hey, I hope this concept can help you in your writing and producing. If you enjoyed it, if you learned something, please hit like, leave a comment, say what's up, you know, whatever. And please definitely hit subscribe. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you soon.